This might just be the easiest sewing tutorial you are going to come across today. Hey shipmates, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn how to make this beautiful shift dress exactly as you can see it on your screen. If this seems like something you're interested in, you want to keep on watching, and if you love sewing tutorials like this, make sure to hit on the subscribe button if you haven't, and turn on your post notifications so you always get notified whenever I post a new tutorial. Now let's dive right into this. I used 3 yards of fabric to recreate this dress, and the best choice of fabric to get are all these kind of fabrics that have like the upper part is black and then the other side of the fabric has designs just like mine is here. You will notice that as I'm using my chalk to draw on this fabric, it's faint and this fabric moves around a lot, and for this reason I'll be drafting out the pattern on the pattern paper. Rule a straight line at the top of your pattern paper. This line is going to serve as your starting line, which is also the shoulder line. We'll be drafting out both the front and the back pattern on this pattern paper. For the neck width, mark 3 inches and come down from that point by 1.5 inch for the neck depth. Go ahead and connect this together with a curve. Using the same neck width, come down by 2.5 inch for the neck depth. Connect this together with a curve to also get your neckline. Now this right here is the back neckline and this one here is the front neckline. Also on this shoulder line, you are going to mark half of your shoulder measurement. Come down from that point by 1 inch to get your shoulder slope. Then you are going to connect this into the neck width. For the chest line, place your tape there at the shoulder slope and mark down your chest line measurement. I'll be leaving a formula on the screen so you can calculate yours. I'll connect this with a straight line and I'll label this the chest line. Also on this chest line, you are going to mark half of your shoulder measurement. This is to enable you to get a straight line to the shoulder slope. Divide what you have there from the shoulder slope to the chest line by 2. You are going to come in from that point by 0.5 inch. On the chest line, mark quarter of your bust measurement, which is your bust divided by 4. This is a shift dress and is free. We are going to be adding ease, so add ease of 1.5 inch. You can also do 1 inch depending on how free you want your shift dress to be. Go ahead and connect all these points together like I'm doing here to get your armhole curve. Now the armhole curve for the front is deeper than that of the back. So for the front armhole curve, we are going to come in from that midpoint by 0.75 inch. Go ahead and connect it together like you see me doing here to get your front armhole. Now this right here is the front armhole curve and this other one here is the back armhole curve. I hope this is clear. Now we are going to go ahead and mark other measurements. Place your tape there at the shoulder line. We will not be marking the bust point because we already have the bust measurement on the chest line. So we'll be marking from the shoulder to the waistline. My shoulder to waistline is 17 inches. I'm just going to mark that and connect this with a straight line. Then from the waistline, you're going to mark down your waist to your hip line measurement. Mine is 8 inches. I will mark that on both sides and connect this with a straight line. The last measurement you're going to mark here is going to be the full length of your dress. So you just have to determine how long you want your dress to be. To mark the round body measurement, we already have quarter of our bust measurement here on the chest line, right? And we even went ahead to add our ease. Now just go ahead and add your stitching allowance. I'll be using 1 inch stitching allowance. On the waistline, mark quarter of your waist measurement, add your ease, and then add your stitching allowance. On the hip line, mark quarter of your hip measurement, add your ease and add your stitching allowance. Now take what you have there on your hip line. For me, I have about 15.5 inch. You will be marking the same thing on the length of your dress. Because of the A shape of this dress, go ahead and add extra 2 inches to what you have there on the length. Now you'll be connecting all these points together like you see me doing here to get the body shape of your dress. Using the pattern paper, we are going to cut out the back part of the dress first. Make sure that you cut out your back piece on fold. To cut out the facing, just place a fabric like this on fold. So you'll be placing your back piece on this folded edge just like this, and you're going to trim this out just like I'm doing here. I'll go ahead and just curve the bottom part of this facing. I'm going to keep this aside and we'll be working on the front piece. To cut out the front part of this dress, first of all, trim down the armhole to the front armhole. And then trim down the neckline to the front neckline. From this point here, you're going to come down by 4 inches for that neck design in front. And on this side here, you're going to go in by 0.5 inch. Using your curve, connect these 2 points together like this. Then trim out this part here. This is what is going to give you that neck design on the front of this dress. Now to cut this out on the fabric, make sure that your fabric is on fold just like mine is here. Then go ahead and cut this out just like I'm doing. Open this up and you see that you've created that neck design beautifully just like mine is here. Now go ahead and cut out a facing just like you did for the back. I'll also be covering out this facing like this. Go ahead and do yours the same way. To attach the facing to the main pieces, you're just going to place the right side of the facing to the right side of your fabric like this. And I'm going to go ahead and pin this down to show you guys what you're going to do. You'll be stitching this down using 0.5 inch from here. Getting to this point, you're going to go around it this way and continue stitching it down all the way to the neckline here. I'm going to repeat this again. You'll be using 0.5 inch to stitch it down from here, and then when you get to somewhere around here, you're going to just make like a round stitch and continue stitching it down to the end. Okay, you'll be doing the same thing on the back piece. For the back piece, you're going to place the facing on the right side of the fabric. You're going to pin it down like this and stitch it down using 0.5 inch stitching allowance. After stitching this down, you can see what this looks like, and you can see what my stitch looks like there. You will see that around this area here, I use my stitch went around it. Can you see that? This is exactly what yours should look like. Now go ahead and make a notch around your stitch and trim off the excess. Now what you'll be doing is to turn this over to the wrong side of your front piece, and you are going to give this a really good press. For the back piece also, you have gone ahead to stitch this down also towards my facing. I'm going to make a notch around my stitch and trim off the excess. Also make sure to give this a really good press. After giving this a good press, you can see how this lay flat and how neat this is looking. Now you'll be attaching your front and your back piece together at the shoulder, and to do that, you're going to place the back piece on the right side of the front piece. You're going to open this up like this, making sure that the facing are together and the main fabrics are together. Go ahead and pin this down. Also do the same thing on the other side of the shoulder. Now you'll be stitching this down using 0.5 inch stitching allowance. After stitching it down at the shoulders, this is what you should have, and you would notice that the seams are hidden right inside. The next thing you'll be doing here now is to insert your sleeves, and to do that, go ahead and take the measurement of what you have around your armhole. For me here, I have 11.5 inches. For the front and back, that will be 23 inches. So whatever you have, you are going to multiply it by 2. That is going to be for the front and the back armhole. Let's quickly draft out the sleeve pattern. Now for the sleeve, from the top of your pattern paper, just come down by about 0.5 inch and rule your starting line. From this starting line here, you're going to come down by 4.5 inch and connect it with a straight line. This here is going to be your bicep line. Then from the shoulder line also, you're going to mark down the length of your sleeve. Now this sleeve is actually very long, so you can add an extra 2 inches or 1.5 inch to whatever is the actual length of your sleeve. If it's too long, you can easily trim off the excess later. This is the length of your sleeve. This right here is the bicep, and this is the shoulder. I'm just going to spell out the bicep line. On this bicep line here, you're going to mark half of your armhole measurement. For me, it's 11.5. And then you're going to connect a straight line from that point there into the center, just like this. Using your measuring tape, you're going to divide what you have on this line by 2. Mark the midpoint. And from here, you're going to connect a curve downward to this point here. And from here, you'll be connecting a curve upward to the center, just like you see me doing here. Go ahead and do the same thing. After creating your curve, you are done creating the curve for your sleeve. You're going to go ahead and take the measurement of what you have around this curve to be sure that it's the actual curve you have on your dress. To be sure it's the same length with what you have on your dress. Taking the measurement of what I have here, you will see that I have almost 13 inches, which of course I'll not be needing 13. So I'm going to be marking this as 11.5 inch, which is what I actually need. So go ahead and do the same thing. Mark yours where the actual measurement is supposed to stop. Okay, then coming to the length here, determine how big you want your sleeve to be. From me, I'll be marking 16 inches on the length. From this point, just connect a straight line into that point there you have on the length. And this is how to go about the drafting of your bell sleeve. It is actually very easy. This is called a trumpet or bell sleeve. Okay, to reduce the sharpness at the side of the sleeve, come up by about 0.5 inch and blend it back into the rest of the sleeve. I've gone ahead to use the pattern to cut up my sleeves, and this is what I have here. I have 2 of them. I'm going to go ahead and notch this at the midpoint each. To attach this to the main dress, go ahead and open up your dress like this. Bringing in your sleeve, you're going to place the right side of the sleeve to the right side of your fabric, making sure that the notch part of your sleeve is on the joining of the shoulder. Go ahead and pin this down just like I'm doing here. You see that the curve on the sleeve and that on the main dress stopped exactly at the same place. You'll be stitching this down using 0.5 inch stitching allowance. After inserting your sleeves, the last thing you're going to do now is to close up the ends of your dress. So to close up the ends, I'm going to turn this over to the wrong side. So first of all, you're going to hem your sleeve and you're going to stitch this down from the sleeve using your stitching allowance all the way into the dress and into the length of the dress, and hem the ends of the dress. And that's pretty much just it. Make sure that you give this a really good press when you are done. And that's it, guys. This is how to go about the making of this beautiful shaped dress with bell sleeves and the stylish neck design. I hope this tutorial was really helpful to you. Make sure to let me know in the comment section. Make sure you hit on the like button so that this video can get to as many people just like it got to you. Share this to family and friends who you think will need this, and turn on your post notifications so you get notified when I post my new tutorial. I'll see you guys in my next one.